Hey, what is happening, guys? Sorry that it took so long, but as you can see, I'm recording from a webcam, for the integrated webcam actually. I also switched to a Mac, so yeah, fun times ahead. Let's see how this turns out. I wanted to create this earlier, as I posted on social medias. I want to create a game, so I actually create a mini series, learn JavaScript by having fun, and having fun means for me creating games, because I'm a big gamer. So let me really quickly show you what we're going to create here. This is quasi finished project. I really want to add a lot to this project as we go along, but I'm just going to show you. So we're going to learn JavaScript by applying it. So check it out. This is the game. We will have a game called, I can actually refresh the page, Dragon Scale. Yeah, it has no sound. I'm going to do the sound effects myself. So we want to start the game. We're going to click on the Start Game button. And then we have Battlegrounds, Player 1 and Player 2. And Player 1 and Player 2 are two dragons. So what can these dragons do? They can attack each other. And after one player performs an action, an attack, a defense, or a heal, then his actions are disabled. You can see I can no longer click them. So player 2 can now perform an action. He can either defend and gain, I believe the defense was random between a number and another number. Have to check it. Have to check my code. Or he can attack, or he can heal. But for heal, when you click on heal, he either needs to be, so this is conditioned by either his HP must be under 100, so under his full HP, or he needs 5 mana. So not enough mana because we need 5 mana. So let's just do that. Player 1 attacks and player 2 defends, in order for me to show you how we generate mana. So I'm gonna defend with player 2, and also up here you will see that player 2 is going to gain defense. And the way this works, when we attack, the amount of attack damage is random. It's between a number and another number. You can do it as you want, so you can choose any number you want. But he also has defense, and the defense that is generated in the moment of attack is then subtracted from the attack, and the rest, so the rest remaining from the attack is the damage. So check this out. We will attack with player 2, player 1. Player 1 has 100 health and 20 armor. Okay, they both start with 100 health and 20 armor. When we attack, we're going to generate, you will see up here with red, is going to be a minus. That would be the attack, not the damage. And with white is going to be the armor, so the defense that he generated. And the subtraction of those two will result in a damage. Okay, so let's attack. And got 2, so it's 0 damage. He still has 100 life, but he's missing now 2 armor. Okay, and this goes down to 0, although we can generate more armor. But as soon as we reach 0, we can no longer generate from 0 up the armor. So the full damage of the attack will be taken as soon as the armor drops down to 0. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so now let's attack with player 1 again. So he got 5 and 1, and that means that's 4 damage, and he had 99 points of life, and now he has 95 and 17 armor. Okay, if we defend now with him, yay, we generated 1 armor, as you saw, and 2 mana, and now he has 2 mana. Okay, we'll attack with player 1 again. 5, 1. We'll defend. 1, 2. We'll attack. What the? Where is this 5, 1 again? 4, 2. There's something not right here. Attack back. 4, 1. Okay. We somehow generated randomly 3 times in a row 5, 1. Okay. If you want to heal now, we still can't because we need 5 mana. Okay, so I'm going to defend again. My turn is over. Player 1 can, well, let's say, defend. Okay, he now also has 2 mana. And now with player 2, we can heal. And we will see here a small heal animation, the amount of mana taken, And yeah, so the amount of heal, the health gained, we will see with plus, and with minus the mana drained, which will be 5, and we'll be left with 5 mana, and a little animation will appear. So check this out. Okay, bloop, 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 bloop. Cool. So we got minus 5 mana and only 2 health generated. We need to change this. This is far too less. It doesn't even make sense to generate that small amount of life. So when does this game end? Well, when either of these 2 players reaches 0 life, and then the condition is met that if one of those 2 players reaches 0 HP, then the other player wins, and you will see it will display a condition, not a condition actually, but a alert a alert up here with player whatever, which player has won. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of it. That's the game. So let's get into it. So I created a index HTML. It's pretty much empty. Actually, I just wanted to test something here. I don't know if this is large enough for you guys to see. Let me increase this one more time. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, we have a game.js, which is then linked up. It's not linked up. Hey. So link up our HTML script. Source of game.js. There we go. So let's open this up using live server. And yep, there's our empty page. And I'm just going to set this very quickly. I want you to be in here. Okay, so we're going to do this a bit side by side. I think when we're going to do styling, then I'm going to skip between them. Okay, so let's first of all test. Let's open up our console, right click, inspect console. There's our console. Let's reload something here. Let's say console log Norbert. Norbert. What the hell is Norbert? Okay, save, and there's Norbert. Okay, so we're linked up. We're good to go. I think I'm going to also increase the console here a bit. Yep, that's much better. Okay, in our index HTML, we also have our CSS file linked up, and it's empty as you can see. So 3 files were created: the index HTML, style.css, and the game.js. And I think I'm going to turn off the camera from here, from OBS, because this is just interfering with our code. You know my face, you saw my face. Let me actually show you again. This is me. Okay, I'm gone. So let's turn this off. How do I turn it off? Ah, there we go. And here also, boom, I'm gone. Because JavaScript is important. So let's get back to JavaScript. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, the HTML is actually pretty simple and pretty straightforward. We're going to also use Bootstrap. Very important. Let's link up Bootstrap. Let's link up Bootstrap. If you ever use Bootstrap, it's, well, you know, Bootstrap. Want to really quickly throw up a site. Then you go to Bootstrap, get started, click on get started, and we're going to copy only the CSS. I just need the CSS, so click on this. On this, where is it now? Hey, you're gone. So let's zoom out. Yep, there we have it. Copy link, or just copy this link. Go above your style.css and paste it in. Okay, actually, let me get this a bit closer. So we have, I think we have everything now set up as, so we have now everything set up accordingly. We have our style linked up, our CSS linked up, and yeah, I think we're good to go. So let's get started. I'm going to really quickly create the HTML, and this is actually pretty simple. We're going to go into our body. Hey, scripts should be up here, right before closing body tag. So let's go up here and let's say title h1, and I'm going to use emit, so hash. This means that, oh yeah, I'm also going to explain a lot. I hope you, although maybe you know all the HTML shortcuts and CSS shortcuts, but I'm going to explain HTML, explain CSS, explain JavaScript to my best of knowledge. So I'm going to give it an ID of game underscore title. Okay, and as you can see, I generated an h1 with an ID. Go up here. Let's type in here dragon scale. So as I said, this will be episodic list. I don't think I'm going to do that much in this episode. This is a long game, and if I take a look in our JavaScript, I think we had roughly 500 lines of code. So I'm not going to do this in half an hour. FYI. Okay, let's go back into HTML. So we have our title, which we are going to display up here. So let's hit save. There's our dragon scale. Title of the game. Now let's create a button. And this is where I'm going to also use the bootstrap classes. So first of all, it's going to have an ID of start game. So we need a start game button that I showed you. Why do I have the terminal open? I don't need you. We are not doing Node.js right now. Okay, it will also have a class. So in order to style the button, let's just type in here with caps lock start. Jesus, dude, relax. Okay, within here, start game. Okay, so this is going to be our start game button right here. So now I'm going to give it a few bootstrap classes. So btn, cast that turned on. So first of all, a btn class, and then a btn dash large. And that's pretty much it for this button. Yeah. Okay, next up, let's go down here, and we're going to create our battlegrounds. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to create a div. So I'm going to start with a class dot. This will give using emit. You can see down here is going to give it automatically a class, and let's give this a name of battleground. Okay, so this is where everything is going to happen. So everything that you saw, actually I need you, buddy. Go in here. Why don't you want to go in there? Whatever. Let's open this up. So this entire thing right here is the battleground. So in this battleground, the background image, the players, all the buttons, everything will live in this battleground. So let's jump back in here and let's start creating our first player. I'm going to go with a div. So I'm going to start with a hash. It's going to be the ID of container underscore player 1 minus 1. So this is where everything regarding the player 1 will live. And then I'm going to give it a h3 of player 1. Have an idea. Let me have an idea. Let me also give it a ID of player 1. Name player 1. Exactly. So ID name player 1. Because I'm going to use this later on. so you can type in your name. Oh, that's perfect. I'm already adding a bit to it. Now let's create an honor.list with a class of player container. Actually, player stats. Yeah, player stats. And this is where this stats right here. So life, armor, and mana are going to live in this stats container. Now I'm going to hardcode them in. This will be a first li of life, and it's going to be 100 1000 HP. Then I'm going to copy this 2 more times, and then we will have, I'm going to put a space in here. Then we'll have armor 20 and mana 0. So we're going to start with 0 mana. Mana, whatever. It's 0. It's pronounced 0. Okay, another thing that the player will have still remaining within this container of container player is down here. We're going to create another list with player character, and within the player character is where the image, so let me go back here, there we are. So where this image will live, and also you saw the damage, the mana that we generate, everything will live in that container. Okay, so let's create another div with the class of player character. Now, damage, armor, and mana and health are what I call intakes. So the player can take damage, can increase his mana, can generate armor, and can heal itself. And that's all happening on the player. And then that is why I put them in a div with a class of intakes or intake. Okay, next up we're going to just create 3 divs. First will be with the class of damage, so DMG. Then I'm going to copy this 3 more times. Control C, V. Then we will have armor. Next up will be mana, and heal. Not like a dog, heal boy, but just heal. Alright, now the player, after the player character, he can perform actions. And these actions will be in a separate container, which, let me see, it comes exactly after the player character. So after the player character, but still staying within this container player 1 are his actions. So let's go down here and say a class, another div with the class of actions. Okay, within these actions, we will have 3 actions that we can perform, and all 3 of them will be buttons. So let's create a button tag, and each button will have an ID. First button will have the ID of attack, and then we'll also give them a class of btn, and also name of attack. Why did I write this with caps lock? Okay, now the btn class also has a class of action. Okay, so we're going to copy this 2 more times just, and let's change the second's ID to heal. Also the action, we can actually leave it blank because we will have background images. And the last one will have the ID of defend, and also here defend. Okay, now all we need to do now is to copy everything that we did for our first player So we're going to take from the ID, from the div, from here up to here. We're going to copy this and go down here, still remaining in our battlegrounds. Copy it in, and I'm just going to change the ID. So these two, the div ID container player 2 and name player 2. Okay, so that's all that we need to do for our HTML, and that's basically it for the HTML. We have this two finished up. Let's do a bit of styling. Now, I don't think I'm going to do all the styling right away. I'm going to add some styles as we go along. But first, let's make a general reset. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to reset everything, and before and after, so we don't have any margin and padding problems with margin 0 and padding 0. So padding 0, and this will just take out all the margin, all the padding from our page. Because if I comment this out, oh, not you, and hit save, wait. You see we have a bit of padding and margin for everything, but as soon as I comment this back in, all the padding and the margin are gone. Okay, another thing I want to do is take all the anchor tags and the list items, and I want to remove the text decoration. I'm going to set this to none, not skip. And I'm also going to remove the style, the list style. So when we have a list item, it could have those roundabout there, not roundabout, Jesus. It could have those discs. I don't want that. I want them to be gone. Don't have anything. Okay, next up we will need our images. So let's create here folder images. I'm just going to drag and drop in the images, and you can download them later on. So I'm also going to create here a actually that's suffice. We need the battlegrounds, this one. Then we need our two dragons. So this one and this one go in there. We have a dragon, we have another dragon. We need the game title image, and we need our heal and health image. Then let's see, what else did we have? Oh yeah, we had our items. We have our shield and sword for attack and defense, and I believe that's it. Yep, that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's get back into it. Don't need you, we don't need you. So our game isn't looking that good right now, but don't worry. We're going to fix this very, very soon. Let me do a couple of things. Let me finish up the styling. So we're gonna set our background. So let's take our body tag, and I'm going to go with the background. So we're going to set our background. We're going to use the background image, and we're going to place it then a bit around. So background. I have caps lock again. minus image, and this is setting our background image. We're going to use URL, and now let's choose the path for the image. So the image lives in images, and we're going to select the game title image. So as soon as we hit save, we have a game title, but this isn't looking correctly, so let's go with background size, and this will resize our image, and we're going to place it as cover. Okay, so now it's pretty much almost in the middle. Okay, I'm going to first of all go up here in the body, and I can already see that my color is messed up, so I'm going to go quickly here and type in color, not color, and going to set the color to a hexadecimal number of FFF, which is white. Okay, next up, still from the background, I'm going to also set the image background repeat, no repeat. So the image will be not repeated, and you will see that the image could repeat itself, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, background clip. Will also be border box, and the last thing I need is the letter spacing. This is going to set the letter spacing for my entire page. I'm going to go with 1.8 pixels, but I would suggest that you choose your letter spacing as you wish, because as you can see, I'm pretty much zoomed in at 200%, so you can all see what is happening in our page right here. Okay, last thing that I need is actually go to Google Fonts. Let's go to Google Fonts. Yep, and what kind of font did I choose here? Crazy. I think it was Green Z. There we have him. Okay, so click on this, click on the font weight was, I think it was, let's go with the 400 and we can increase it. So I'm going to click on this selected style plus, and then go to embedded up here and import. So not the link, click on the import. So I could also grab the link. If you grab the link from here, then you copy it into your HTML. Let's do it this way. Why not? Why not? I'm feeling kinky today. Whoa. Control V. Did I just copy it in? No, I copied in player 1 up there. For what reason whatsoever. So, we need the link. Go to the link, take the link, copy the link, go back in here and paste in the link. Okay, now if we go back in our style and also go back in here, and yeah, the font family that you need to use, you could also copy this. So CSS rule to specify families, go in here, copy this, go to your body. I actually want to have this open, so take a look at this dragon scale up here. And as soon as I paste this in and hit save, and we have this cool font family. I just thought this was cool for the game. Okay. Actually, that's it for the styling for now. Now let's actually do something. I want to grab on. Let's start the game. Let's start the game itself. So we are going to need a few things. Need to grab on from the DOM to a couple of things, and we're going to go now into our game.js. Start game down here. So let's grab on, create a const. Let's call this start game btn is equal to document and get element by ID. You can use those query selectors, it doesn't matter. And we're going to grab onto the ID of start game. Okay, let's see, did we grab onto it? So we're going to console log the constant of start game, and there we have it. We just grab onto this button. So difference between const and using const as a variable and let as a variable. It has something to do with scoping, and it has something to do with if I define something as const, its value and its value cannot be reassigned. So if I'm assigning this to const, this will stay as it is for the rest of its life cycle. If I cannot go down here, say start game is equal to something else, I have to leave it as it is. If I would go with let, I couldn't change its value. Okay, next thing that I need, go above our start button, is to grab onto the body. So let's create another const and let's say body. I'm just going to call it body. Now we're going to go to document dot. I'm going to use this time query selector, and we're going to select our body tag. So if you would go in here and type in body and hit save, then you will see your entire body section selected. If you go in here, we'll see all the HTML that we typed into the body. Now let's create the last thing that I need is the game title. So const and game title, and we're going to go to the document dot get element by ID. I'm going to use again. So get element by ID, and we're going to grab onto the ID of game underscore title. Okay, and let's just quickly check it if this is correct. Hit start, hit save, and there we go. We have a game title. Okay, so how do we start the game? Well, we need our start button, and when we start, so we're going to take our button, we're going to add an event listener to it, and this event listener will listen for a click. Okay, and when this click happens, a functionality, so we're going to use the arrow function, a functionality will occur which will initiate another function which we'll call start game, open and close parenthesis, not button, but start game. We didn't create this function yet, we're just initializing it here. And then the start button dot style dot display will be displayed as none. So as soon as we hit start, we want the start button to disappear. Okay, we don't have the functionality right now, and this is why this isn't taking effect, because this is stopping right here. But if I comment this one out and click on the start button, whoa, it's gone. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and grab onto let me refresh the page. The problem is the start button is, well, its color is dark. I don't like it, but I know I did style it somewhere. Wait just a second. The start button, there we have it. So let's do a quick styling. As I said, I'm going to style as we go along the course. So let's take the ID of start button, not the course, the tutorial. Start game. Okay, so this is our button. I'm going to change the background color to a RGB of 777. Okay, so let's go in here. Now it's dark, and I'm also going to change the color of the text, so color to #FFF. Okay, so we have the white color. A couple of things I want to also do to this button is position it relative. Then I'm going to increase the font size to 2 rem. I'm going to increase the letter spacing to 3 pixels. Whoa, and this just jumped a bit around. So let's go back into styling. 3 pixels, letter spacing. There we go. And yeah, I want to give it a bit of a margin from top and bottom 10%, and from the left and right 40%. So this just means top and bottom, and this means left and right. Because if I would do something like this, 0 top, right 10, 0 bottom, and left 40. Okay, this always goes like top, right, bottom, left. So I'm going to take this two out. Okay, so I'm going to take this two out, and yeah, that's kind of it. No, actually I also wanted to create an animation when this animates in, but I think I'm going to do this in another video. For now I want to have this start game functioning, so we can stop with starting the game. Yeah, we're stopping the video with starting the game. Okay, another thing, we want to change the title here. So this is why we also grabbed onto the title, game title. So we're going to copy this, go into our start game, well, not the start game function, but on the click event. So it's going to listen for this click, and when the click happens, we also want to change the inner text of the title. So this title right here, which should now say Battlegrounds. Okay, so let's see if this works. So if I click on start game, then the button should disappear and this should change to Battlegrounds. Boo! Okay, so this is also working. So let's hit refresh again. Okay, now let's create the start game function. So I'm going to call this function, and let's go back in here, comment this one back in. So we need the function with the name of start game, and this function should take the body, so the const that we created up here, the body element, and dot style dot background image, and we're going to change the image to a URL, and we're going to go into our image folder, and from there select the I think I'm going to do this in here, and then just copy it in. So from our image folder, we're going to select the Battlegrounds image. Okay, so we just need to copy this link, take it, go into our JavaScript and copy it in here. Okay, now let's go back into CSS and yeah, delete it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we have our image in here, and another thing, we're going to go to document dot create selector, and we're going to select now our class of Battlegrounds, battleground, and we're going to dot style dot display as flex, and there should be a string. Okay, so why am I doing this? Because in our CSS we're going to hide this, so the players, we can see the players actually here, and in our presentation if we go back in, if I refresh this, you see the animation comes in with the title and the button, but the players are missing. Okay, and only if I click start, then the title changes and the players appear. Okay, so this is what we want to achieve also here. So where are our players? Well, for this we are going to take the class of Battlegrounds. So dot Battlegrounds. I'm still seeing Battlegrounds, it's just Battleground. Okay, and I'm going to give this first of all a width of 650 pixels, then margin auto, so it will be placed in the middle of the page, and now I'm going to display it as none, and this will hide our Battlegrounds. Okay, so this is with all we are left. And now if I, let me actually close the console. Now if I would click on, oh, I already clicked on it. Now if I would click on start game, then the title should change, the background should change, and the player should appear. So let's click on it. Okay, the background, hey, the background didn't change. Why didn't the background change? Did I forget to hit save somewhere? The background should change to... Oh, we have too many parentheses here. There we go. Let's just save again. And click start. Yay! There it is. So we're in our battleground. And there should be player 2. What am I doing? What am I doing? Player 2. Okay. So we can start our game, and there it is. Okay guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Next video we're going to go a bit further and type a little bit more JavaScript, but yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and see you next time. Bye bye.